I'm not going to lie, it was easier to make my top 10 worst movie list than it was to make my top 10 best movie list that I watched in 2022. Here's that video for you, including both. Welcome back, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Katrina and I make bookish content here on this channel every week, and then movie reviews here at the weekend. All of my movie reviews are spoiler free, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave my playlist of my movie reviews linked up above, because I have reviewed every single movie that I'm going to talk about here. So we're going to go through the top 10 best movies first, and then after that, we're going to go through the top 10 worst movies. If you're just here for the worst movies, I will leave that chapter in the description box if you want to just scroll along to my top 10 worst movies. These are in no particular order. They are just my favourite movies that I saw versus my less favourite movies that I saw. So one of the first movies that I saw in 2022 that I did actually enjoy, and here's where we're sort of setting the bar, just so you know, was Sing 2. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It had a little something for everything in. I was sort of singing along. I felt happy to be going to see this one on my own. It was a good movie. It wasn't an amazing movie, but it's a good movie, and therefore it's made it onto my top 10 of the year. Literally, you're going to see where we're taking this. Then we have a controversial one. You will definitely want to watch my movie review of this one. We have Don't Worry Darling, which stars Florence Pugh being amazing, and just Florence Pugh being amazing. This one was a little bit on the weirder side. However, it stuck with me and I really enjoyed it, and I thought that Florence Pugh was amazing in it. And so you should definitely watch this one because Florence Pugh is amazing in it. It has a load of controversy around it, and I talk about that at length in my actual movie review of it, so you're going to want to see that one to be able to hear my full thoughts on it. Then another children's movie that was really good, and I found myself singing along with it. None of these movies I have been to watch again or watched at home since it came out, but this one is Matilda the Musical. If you're in the US right now, you can watch this one on Netflix. I believe if you're in the UK, it's still in cinemas, and it won't be on Netflix until the middle of the year, so apologies for saying that it would be on Netflix on Christmas Day, but in the US and Canada, I think, if you're on Netflix, it's on right now. This is Matilda the Musical, which is based on the show Matilda the Musical, not on the book or the movie previously of Matilda by Roald Dahl. So this is the musical one done by Tim Minchin. Yes, Tim Minchin. And I really enjoyed it. However, I haven't been to re-watch this one. I wouldn't say no to re-watching this one, and I would probably watch it when it does eventually come to UK Netflix. Then another one that I loved, speaking of UK Netflix, this is a UK Netflix film, and it was nominated for an Oscar, and I would love to see this one again. This one was Tick Tick Boom. This one really was amazing, and if you watch my full, I can't get anything where it's like not got any reflection in it. That's really rubbish. It's because it's night time, because it's December. It was just fabulous. Andrew Garfield was amazing. The movie itself was fabulous, even though it's really sad, and it has some real Broadway legends in it, and I absolutely adored it. So definitely go and watch my review of this one, and definitely go and stream this one on Netflix because it was just fabulous. Where are we up to now? Okay, so another Oscar nominated one that I enjoyed watching was Belfast. I did not enjoy watching Judi Dench in this film. However, I did enjoy watching everybody else in this film. It's quite hard hitting because it covers the troubles in Belfast, and so know that going into it. However, I think that they did a really good job of it. I loved Jamie Dornan in it. I loved Katrina. Is it Katrina Balfe or Balfe? Anyway, I thought they were fabulous in it, and it's one that I would watch again, but haven't watched again, but is in my top 10 of 2022. Then another one that came straight to streaming. It wasn't supposed to come straight to streaming. I saw trailers for this one in the cinema and was excited to go and see it in the cinema, but then ended up watching it straight to streaming because that's how it came. And this is Turning Red, which is Disney Pixar's latest streaming offering. It's so shiny and has a big fluffy red panda in it, and deals with growing up and turning red and friendship and identity and coming of age, and it was just delightful, and I would love to watch this one again soon. definitely one for the list to watch over Christmas. 100%. And then we have one that I watched really recently. I think this is probably my most recent movie review that has hit your subscription feeds, because I know you're all subscribed watching this one. This one is She Said, which is following the Harvey Weinstein accusations, but just reporters at the New York Times covering the Me Too movement and Ashley Judd and Harvey Weinstein and everything else that set that off, and also dealing a little bit with the Donald Trump accusations when he was running for president and then got elected president. And it's just fabulous, and I really enjoyed it, and you should watch my full movie review of this one, because if it's still playing in cinemas where you are, you should go and watch it, and I hope it gets nominated for plenty of Oscars this year. 100%. And then one which I thought, should it make the list? Should it not make the list? But a little bit like Sing 2, it was good. And I didn't want to leave. And so Thor, Love and Thunder made it onto the list. And it was fine. It was good. The music was good. I laughed. And it was maybe a bit long. And that's it. Yeah. I don't have an awful lot else to say about it. But in terms of the films I watched in 2022, this made the top 10. As I say, I have reviewed all of these at length here on the channel. Let's have a couple more, which I did actually really love. First of all, is a book versus movie. Now, this one is not going to be for everyone. However, I came out of the cinema having watched this one and just felt really happy and really warm and really like satisfied. And so this is Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris, which was just delightful and lovely and just made you feel like the world was an okay place. I, as I say, made a full book versus movie for this one, because I did of course read the book before going to see the movie of this one, and so I will leave that linked up above and in the description box for you, so you can see what I thought of how it compared to the book. But just know that the movie itself was delightful, and haven't rewatched it, but probably would. Now, one that I was definitely supposed to rewatch, and probably I know we don't rank these, I know we don't order them, but this was probably my favourite film that I did actually that I did actually watch in 2022. Now, I say I was supposed to rewatch this one because I would have gone and seen it again in the cinemas, but it was quite long and I didn't have time to. And I was supposed to watch it by downloading it over Christmas. Didn't end up doing that, but this is Elvis, and I absolutely loved it, and I thought it was incredibly well done. It deserves all the Oscar nominations. Tom Hanks playing a baddie, amazing, and Austin Butler was just stunning in this one, so really hoping this one gets all the nominations. And I'm going out on a limb and just saying that this was my favourite movie of 2022, and so it deserves the top spot on the top 10, even though I'm not ranking them in any particular order. This one is the top spot, so you're welcome. Let's go on to talk about the easier list to make. I had 11 films on this list and I had to kick one off. So whereas my top 10, I think I got 7, and then I was like, oh, better put a few more on. Some of these I watched fairly early on in 2022, and some of these did get nominated for Oscars, and I just did not love them. First of all, let's talk about Licorice Pizza, which deals with like underage, basically statutory rape, and yet still got nominated for an Oscar. I don't know what it was doing. It was just too out there for me. There were some funny moments, but I just couldn't get over the whole age difference thing, and I just did not like it. And I talk about it in my full movie review, which I will, as always, leave linked up above. Oh, there's some good ones in here. Then we have one that I really wanted to love. I was so excited to go and see this one. So very excited for this first mainstream gay rom-com. We have Bros. It just could have done so much more. It just could have done so much more, and I'm cross with it for not doing more, and I'm cross with it for showing all the best bits in the trailer. So I was hyped to go and see it, and then was disappointed by the actual product itself. I just felt like it was trying to do too much and yet didn't achieve anything. And that's the general summary of it. But you can watch my full review to know exactly how I felt about it as we went through. But yes, just a disappointing one. Then we have one which on paper realistically I was never going to like. How, you know, it's got The Rock in it though, because this is Black Adam. I don't know what it was trying to do. It was very confusing. It wasn't great. The CGI wasn't brilliant. And so, yeah. But on paper, I generally don't like a DC film. I will be going to see the new Shazam movie. And I know this is part of the Shazam franchise as well. But on paper, I don't like a DC movie. But I do like The Rock in things. And so, you know, thought I might like it. Did not like it. Definitely top 10 least favourite films of the year. For me, personally. This, of course, is a very personal list. Then we have one which I saw at the same time as seeing the licorice pizza, however you want to pronounce it. It was Clifford the Big Red Dog. I don't really think I need to say an awful lot about why I didn't like this one. I thought family film, nice little, you know, post-Christmas watching at the start of the new year. Oh, it was just so bad. It was just so bad. And then we have Jack Whitehall's accent, which should be a top 10 list in its own right, because it went through many different varieties of American English. He had all sorts of different accents there, for somebody that apparently grew up in New York. Interesting one. Don't need to say any more. Then the title of my movie review for this one was basically like, what did Marvel do to this ending? Like, what happened? This is Morbius, starring Jared Leto, which is like way too dark to get any sort of like reflection thing going on. So you can just have a reflection of me in the side of it there. This one was just really bad most of the way through, and then the ending was just awful. And there was no post-credits scene, even though I waited, and so I just felt like I wasted a load of time going to see this one. And I did not go and see it on my own. I took someone to go and see this one, and I really regret that, and I'm really sorry about what it's doing to my lighting. Top 10 least favourite films of the year, 100%. And then another one, which it was just kind of disappointing. Well, a couple that were disappointing. This rom-com should have been the rom-com, and not even a week ago I was talking to a taxi driver about this one. Ticket to Paradise, Clooney, Roberts, should be amazing. Just wasn't great. Loved Billy Lord in this one. Absolutely loved Billy Lord in this one. Most of the things in this one though fell flat. It was a rom-com. I was excited to take myself to go and see a rom-com. Love a rom-com. Should feel nice. Should feel satisfying. It did not. Just, again, a bit like Bros. I had such high expectations. I went in with too high expectations. That's on me. But it just didn't even come close to my expectations. Hard, don't recommend. And speaking of sort of rom-coms, which had people in that would like rom-commy, yeah, no, The Lost City, also heavily trailered. Was excited by the trailer, so heavily trailered. Hands up if you saw like a million trailers for this film this year. You know, we've got Channing Tatum in here, we've got Sandra Bullock in here, we've got Brad Pitt in here, we've got Harry Potter in here. Like, come on. No, it was just really bad. It was just a waste of time. And also, her jumpsuit looked so uncomfortable so much of the time. Did I laugh out loud a little bit? Yes, I did. Was I left with a sour taste in my mouth, though? Yes, I was. Not just no. Just no. And then another one which, yeah, was kind of on paper. I was never really going to like it, but it was one of those where there wasn't an awful lot on at the cinema, and so I wasn't left with many choices. So I thought, I'll go and see it. It might be funny. Nicolas Cage is Nick Cage in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. I mean, that tagline is enough to put it in the top 10 least favourite films anyway, is it not? And then the film itself, I don't know what's happening. I don't really know. I don't really care. And it just wasn't great. Like, it just really wasn't great. And I don't think I've seen anyone recommend this one, but I've not seen enough people talking about how bad this one was, so I'm gonna just put that out there again. It was really bad. It was really muddled and really not great. No, it was not. And then finally we have One that I went to see as part of my Oscar nominated films watching that I did leading up to the Oscars. I'm still excited about that this year. I am. I've not been put off. But this one was Parallel Mothers, and this is where you kind of go, surely someone other than Penelope Cruz can play this part, because she gets nominated for an Oscar, but she's the only person that ever gets cast in these parts. Can we cast someone else? Can we cast another Spanish actor or a Spanish speaking actor to be in a Spanish speaking role in one of these films, do you think? Maybe. The premise of it was great, but then the acting was what let it down. Like, I liked the premise of it. I genuinely did like the premise of it, but the acting and the sort of predictability of it as well. The predictability of it, if it was a rom-com, would have been fine. And if it had been pulled off well by the actors, would have been fine. But as it was, it just did not work. It did not work. And so that is unfortunate, but that is my top 10 least favourite films of the year. Let me check I've gone through them all for you. Please do let me know that I am not alone in most of these. Yes, we've got Ticket to Paradise, Black Adam, Bros, Clifford the Big Red Dog, Morbius, Parallel Mothers, Lost City, Nick Cage. Oh, wait, I have forgotten one. How could I forget this one that should not have been allowed to be made? The Railway Children Return. This was playing on my flight to Orlando. I feel sorry for whoever clicked on this one to watch it. Like, no, there was so much wrong about it. Please watch my full review of this one. I'll leave it linked in the end screen for you. It was so bad. It should never have been allowed to be made. Just go away and watch the original one. Be much better off. Definitely. Just so many things wrong with it. So there you have it. Top 10 favourite and least favourite films of 2022. It was a tough list to make, I'm not going to lie. Like, it was tough to narrow it down to just 10 being my least favourite, and it was tough to find 10 that I actually enjoyed. The fact that I've got 2 straight to streaming films on there, like, says an awful lot. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm getting pickier. Maybe I watched far too many films pre-pandemic that were really, really good, and now I'm waiting for those, like, post-pandemic decent films to be coming out. I am excited about cinema in 2023. There are quite a few things I'm looking forward to. As always, let me know in comments what you are looking forward to. What do you want me to go and watch and review for you at the cinemas in the upcoming weeks? I'm always happy to go and watch on demand. But yes, with that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know what your favourite and least favourite films of 2022 were. Make sure you are subscribed so that my next movie review lands in your subscription feed, and hit that notification bell to be notified of the bookish content that I post in the week. But I will see you with my next video very soon.